welcome back to another episode of The Scoop with Cindy and Coop. If you don't know, I am Cindy, and this is my lovely host, Candace Cooper. Candace, how you doing today?
Man, just living the dream, making $1 out of 15 cents, one podcast at a time.
Yeah, Candace, you are on quite a few podcasts. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to just get my content. They say content is king or queen out here, so I might as well just get my stuff out and rolling. I got Locked on Tar Heels podcast that I do every single day. I have Guest the Guest Live, which I host with Penn Holderness. I'm pretty much just the producer in the background, making sure I get guests, so that's not too hard. I also do Locked on College Football, where I talk to all the Locked on Podcast Network hosts every Monday. We can talk about everything going on in the college football world, and then I have The Scoop with Cindy and Coop, so
yeah,
my girl's always it's the easiest one.
There you go. My girl is always working, so I'm glad that she was able to do this with me. But we're having fun.
I'm always working because I know what it's like to not work. I think everyone in 2020 has had the opportunity where they just had a very humble moment. And I worked from January to March. I got 90 days being on SB Nation, and I thought that life was going to be so grand. It was my shot and all that good stuff. And then COVID happened and the budget cuts, and you realize this is a cold ass game out here. So I'm grateful to have the opportunity to just talk again and be in different atmospheres where I get to, lend my voice to people. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great stepping stone. It is not the end. It was just the beginning, so it's okay.
Jesus and I had a long monologue about that, and there was a lot of wine poured and a lot. Like, have you ever been through something so hard, like your team lost, or something really tragic on in your life, and you just like, you know what? I just need to get drunk. That's exactly what I did.
I had my fair share. Of downs for sure. I have had moments. Yes, I've had my moments. I don't like to talk about them to everybody. I mean, I am open to the people, like when people come and talk to me about, this industry or whatever, I'm open with them, but I don't broadcast to the world, like on Twitter, like this happened to me. It's just, I disappear. I'm the disappear type. Like I keep to myself, going in my little hole, in my little corner, mind my business until I'm ready to pop out again.
Well, I honestly appreciate, podcasts with these players now that they get to tell their stories and we get to see what really happened, like all the smoke, and we saw trust levels with Cam Jordan and Mark Ingram. Just getting the real conversations out, I think, is so important, and seeing players use their platform just like us, like former athletes, just trying to use our platform for good.
Yes. Okay, so Candace, NBA Finals is over.
Hallelujah.
NBA is done for the season. They got through. They got a champion, LA Lakers. Y'all got it. Y'all happy.
Were you surprised?
No, I'll give you the claps though. I'm happy for LeBron. I'm happy for AD. And everybody else on the team too, but like those two for sure. AD, that's his first championship. LeBron is fourth, but like first in LA. Big deal. But I want to touch on something that happened before that final game. So the game that could have been the final game, could have been the game winner, started a little bit of controversy. I know that Danny Green has been a sore subject for the Laker fans for a cool minute. Yeah, he's not clutch always, and he don't make the best shots or the best shot selection.
See, so here's the thing. He makes fine shot selections. The mofo is just wide open and misses. That's the part. A lot of people have a problem with the fact that he's wide open. And that's also, he's not the only role player who misses wide open shots. He's just done this before, so they expect more of him.
I was going to say, so like I'm not huge on watching the Lakers like that, but I have seen a lot of the chatter. And obviously I watched the finals, so I do know like that was an issue of his that, like a lot of the fans had problems with, right? I'm all for fans having issues with athletes not performing to their best ability. We see this often with college teams when the kickers, miss that game-winning point, and it's like, what? This is where we need to address an issue that needs to stop, okay? Never should you ever be sending death threats to anyone because they missed a shot. Not to them, not to their families, not to anyone. It is never that serious. And if you are that invested, you need to take a step back. Period. I don't care if you gambled some money and you lost some money, you had no business gambling that money, okay? You need to learn some self-control. These are people. They are real people. Their lives matter, okay?
100%.
Like
Yeah,
that is
I agree.
it's not a joke. Like, no, you should not be sending death threats to anyone because they missed a shot and now your finals or your championship dreams were lost for one game. Are you crazy?
Well, people confuse, like, fan is short for fanatic. So that truly means someone who has obsessive behavior towards whatever they idolize, right? And we all know we have a lot of couch coaches, we have a lot of couch GMs, we have a lot of people who have put in rotation. They knew what play should have happened, should LeBron have shot it, should Danny Green have actually made it, like all these things that they have opinions on, but they've never been in that moment themselves. So of course, it's easier to gripe at somebody who's never been in the moment. But again, I just think it's beyond just Danny. It's going to his fiance and talking to her, talking junk to her, telling her, like, sending her death threats. It's insane.
Girl,
Because at the end of the day,
it couldn't be me because you'll see a whole different Cindy, okay? Oh, no.
I just feel like if I knew that I'm the fiance, right, and I know the Lakers are playing the Miami Heat, and you're literally wanting to tell me I need to die because my husband to be missed a shot, I'm like, bro, it's game 6. We're gonna do it again. Like it's the Lakers and the Miami Heat. What are you? We get one more day of basketball. Why are you so freaked out about it?
No. I don't care if he lost the whole dang championship for them. I don't care. I don't care if that was the deciding point and that could have won them, and in the Heat won that game. I don't care what it may have been. You don't send death threats to anyone over a game. No, that's not okay. You guys need to have some humanity out there. Come on now.
I mean, who are we talking to here as well, though? Like, there are a certain group of people who just, at the end of the day, because they lost money or because it was Black Mamba night and we're supposed to, commemorate Kobe, I think it was actually better, right? You had your own moment. And I think as much as we want to celebrate Kobe and honor him, the jerseys are beautiful. They're a great, memorial type thing. But LeBron needs to win in the white jerseys by himself, and let that be that. Like they need to have AD in his white jersey. Let that be that, right? Let's have their new Laker dynasty or whatever people think that's going to be. Let it be that moment. And, it's, again, we all knew that whether they won in game 6 or game 7, you knew the Lakers were going to win. Like, I don't think anybody had that question. It was just Jimmy Butler played 47 minutes in like 30 seconds of a 48-minute game. My baby won't go do that to Mo. He just won't go do that. That's just not law of, whatever the law is. Like, that's just not going to happen. Law of averages. That's what it is. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's true. My other beef with that game was that the actual finals game did not feel like a final. Like I thought
what it should have been the whole time. That should have been like 4 games straight. That's what it should have been.
Yeah, but the Heat was coming with it. Okay, don't hate on them. They had a little moment. Okay, they came through. But I really did think it was gonna go to game 7 because the way the game was, I was like, okay, this ain't nothing. But at halftime, down by 28, like. Yeah, that was rough. That was rough. Like, it wasn't even that much entertaining to watch. Like, what are we doing here?
I didn't watch the end of the game because we already knew. So next.
Well, I watched because it's just like, it's probably the end. So, like, let's watch. But, yeah, I was disappointed. And then it was on the same time as Sunday Night Football. And I don't know. I didn't even look at the ratings to see. But I'm pretty sure people tuned into the finals over Sunday Night Football.
I mean, if they're a Lakers fan, sure, but like I love football. I will watch football over basketball any day.
I was watching both. I was working. I was like covering the game for work, and then I was watching the finals just for leisure. So
see, I'm not that big of a sports fan. Like I'm just like cool. I'm not gonna flip back and forth. Unless it's a blowout, then I don't care. But whatever.
Nah, I feel it. So like, let's stop the death threats. Be angry all you want. Be like, you suck. Because we know athletes know that's what they sign up for. They're going to get criticized. It comes with the territory, especially being in the spotlight. But my life being threatened is never okay.
Well, keep it also to the athletes. Like, you don't have to bring other people's family in, or you don't bring people's families into it at all. It's never
you don't.
Serious.
You don't, because one day you're going to bring the wrong one and they're going to be mad. I'm just
kidding. They're going to meet the right one. They're going to meet the right one.
The right one, right? Speaking of football, since we were just talking about Sunday Night Football, sad news. Obviously, like we mentioned last week, we've been seeing a lot of injuries this season. And granted, yes, we see a lot of injuries each year, but this has definitely seemed like a lot more. And the season-ending ones have been very crucial and like heartbreaking. Most recent one I would say was a Dak Prescott injury. I truly hate those injuries that they continue to show, and they
Did you
look
see it?
like fringe. I was working the game. I was watching it and working at the same time, and it's like it wasn't as bad as say like the leg coming out of the skin, not those situations,
Cindy.
but I'm just trying to paint the picture.
Painted.
But it was definitely one of those like, ugh, that didn't look right.
Well, I thought he got a Charlie horse. I thought he got a Charlie horse. And then as he picked it up and his foot didn't go with it, I was like, oh, okay.
So I initially thought like the foot came out of a shoe and that's what looks weird. Not realizing like that was his whole like ankle. It just was ugly. It was completely ugly. Um Sad, obviously. I think people knew right there looking at the injury that was probably going to be a season ending injury. I think he pretty much knew it too. You saw the tears as he got carted off. That sparked a conversation on Twitter, which I feel like happens all the time, obviously, because we're always having this conversation. But something that I feel like worth us discussing is fans griping about athletes wanting to get paid. So it's one thing when
fans are on the hot spot today. Jeez.
Yeah, fans are tripping. Y'all be out there tripping. No, but it's one thing for owners to gripe because obviously that money's coming out of their pockets and like it's a business. They're gonna try to dibble and dabble and negotiate how best in their interest as they can. But these fans need to realize like how much these athletes put on the line day to day to play these sports as entertainment. And yes, we often like to say, "Oh, you guys are getting paid this and X amount. It doesn't matter. Do what just get out there and play." But like playing a contact sport like football, you are risking a lot of your health daily, even in practice. So now you kind of understand why players are pushing to get paid when they are pushing to get paid. They don't want to wait after another year because now look, Dak signed the franchise tag, and granted, if the Cowboys do right by Dak, they will still do the extension in good faith. But who wants to move on good faith? I need the guarantee. So I am not mad at Dak wanting his money. I mean, I'm glad that he still got somewhat of a good situation with the franchise tag, but people are expecting that contract to come through. And I'm not mad at other players we see that decide to either sit out a few days of training camp to, make sure that contract gets negotiated.
Well, let's put it in perspective, right? So the NFC East is not a competitive division whatsoever. So the fact that they have to even fight for a spot in being the division champion, that says a lot, right? And so, of course, I think that's where the criticism comes. I think it's rightfully so because after you go off, what was it? The season that they won like 10 wins or something like that, was it 10 wins? The biggest, I think it was Dak and Ezekiel's like first year together. And they just went off and they ate. And it was like Ezekiel was like this big name and all that stuff. And we really haven't seen him do much since. And for Dak, it's like he does stuff, majority of the time. But putting in perspective, if you're still fighting to get out of the NFC East, I'm not sure I'm paying you either. Now, mind you, I can understand you wanting the money, but I don't know if I'm Jerry Jones and knowing his track record, I don't know that I'm going to be able to give you that money. So
your take is that like he hasn't fully earned it.
I don't even think it's an earned thing because when you look at the grand scheme of things, all these guys earn every single dollar that, they want because you're playing at an elite level, all that good stuff. But at the same time, when I'm scaling it to the Russell Wilsons, the Patrick Mahomes, like we're talking about serious playoff contention, winning Super Bowls. You want to be in that same conversation. I'm going to need something beyond trying to beat out Carson Wentz and the Eagles for a division title. I need more. I'm sorry. Like I'm a Giants fan, right? Daniel Jones gives y'all a run for your money for games. Okay.
But is that his fault or is that the defense fault? Like, are you just saying
I think
played a better game than Dak overall? Period. Is that what you're saying?
if you look on paper, the Dallas Cowboys defense should be literally probably number 2 behind the Patriots defense.
But the defense ain't got nothing to do with me as the quarterback. Okay, so
but you're a leader, right? You're a leader
of the offense, really. Like, if we're being honest, of the offense.
If you're a leader of the entire squad, don't put me in a position to where I have to go extra hard on my defense because you're not putting points on the board. Sorry.
Well, Candace, that is Candace's, division. Jeez.
I also believe that good offensive lines matter, and the Cowboys have been very spoiled with great offensive lines. They've made Dak look very good, but now that offensive line group has decreased over the past couple of years, it's kind of exposing him a little bit more. So what they're going to need to do is tighten up the track. Ezekiel also made him look good, and sometimes he does run.
Aren't you only as good as as a quarterback, you need a good offensive line, right? Like, you can make some miracles happen, but at some point,
have you seen
the issue?
Have you seen Russell Wilson play? He's had a terrible offensive line. You got to make it work. Once it's out there to the world and the universe that it can be done, when I put film in front of you, what can you say to that?
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I still think that I'm not mad at him trying to get paid for when he wanted to get paid. He didn't get it yet, but I hope he does. He is their franchise quarterback. If you're not going to pay him, then you're going to be looking in that next draft, right?
I think everyone feels, everyone should be tanking for Trevor. Hell, Giants should be tanking for Trevor Lawrence. Like, everybody needs to be tanking for Trevor Lawrence. I don't even know why you're fucking playing the games. Everybody needs to be tanking for Trevor Lawrence. That's just how I feel about that. But more importantly, I do believe that it's sad that he got hurt. That's just the nature of the beast of what this game is. It's not run and give him paycheck for it. I don't know, because I also know the Jerry Joneses of the world who are going to be like, well, what can you do now that you got one good foot?
Okay, so I was going to say, so now there's a decision to be made then. So if they choose not to pay him, which I would 100% understand if they are unsure about how he's going to return, where do you go from there? You rely on Andy Dalton and then, like you said, look to try to get something in the draft? Is tanking going to do this?
The fact that you signed Andy in the first place. Andy can fake you through the NFC East. Anybody can fake you through the NFC East. Dwayne Haskins. Alex Smith.
Why you do that?
Listen, these are the options. Daniel Jones, Kyle Allen, Carson Wentz. Like, these are your options for quarterback. These are who you're competing with. And the fact that it's even a question lets you know all you need to know. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I guess what they do then, because now I feel bad, like, thinking about that. Yeah, you don't know what he's going to come back as. Injuries, that's another thing about injuries. Like, you may never be that same player. Another reason why you fight for your money in that time.
Listen, I want him to get his money. Yeah, I want him to get his money. I want him to get paid. I think his testimony is going to be amazing. He's going to get comeback player of the year. All the good feels. However, if I'm writing a check, I need to see some product. Period.
Yeah. And then you have the fans mad, like, we wasted money on them and they're not even producing. So yeah, okay. I hear you out. I hear you. You make good points. While we're on the subject of football, something else happened during Tuesday night football. I'm tripping, which is random. I know.
It's all a blur these days.
Right, literally games on games on games, which I wasn't too bad about Tuesday night football. Like, I can get with that. Taco Tuesday, some football. I can get with it, and it was a pretty good game too. Shout out to Titans.
Everyone pray for Josh Norman. Yikes.
That hit was, or stiff arm, sorry.
Yeah, on a hit, baby. He pushed him right.
But it might as well have been a hit. The way he pushed him, you might as well have said it was a hit. Like, what?
You look like a baby biatch. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Next. He did. He let a grown man push you like that.
I mean, but that's a big grown man. Like, come on now.
You're in an NFL.
Okay, and some of them is a little bigger than you. Like, it is what it is, bruh.
No.
He was coming full force too. Yeah, nah, bruh. I don't know.
You got push off both your feet. That's embarrassing.
Hey, at least he didn't back down though. Like, he went for it, knowing what was coming at him.
No, Cindy.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Like Earl Thomas's push was like, okay, I stumbled. Ooh, my hands. That Negro got picked up, and it was like a baby saying, like, yeah, like, no.
Okay, I didn't say it was. I was trying to lighten it up a little bit.
Don't make the boy feel better. He ought to be embarrassed. He ought to be shamed. That's what he ought to be. I won't show my face around nobody.
Oh my God. Okay, but the big news that happened during that game had nothing to do with the actual game. It had everything to do with Le'Veon Bell. Back to your, with the Jets, all them people over there got
Terrible.
going on. The Jets have been on a struggle bus. They are, what is it, 0-5? 0-6, 0-5, 0-5.
They won a game, yep.
Fans have been fans have been begging for them to let go of Adam Gase, fire him, get rid of that head coach. That's all the comments in any Twitter, any sports app, any conversation about sports. When it comes to the Jets, they are like, fire that man.
Right.
And so we saw Jamal Adams make his way out of there in the off season, be ready for season started. And now Le'Veon Bell is out of there. Okay, so let's go down the list of like series of events of what happened. So first, Le'Veon Bell likes some tweets, and I'm gonna pull them up because I had them on deck ready.
Love a good receipt, honey.
Got to have the receipt. So the tweets were Le'Veon Bell had 1 target in the passing game today, the same amount as Trayvon Wesco. Jeff Smith had 11. I don't know who Trayvon Wesco is. So that tells you all you need to know right there. And then he liked another one that said Le'Veon Bell, whom the Jets stressed they need to involve in the passing game this season, had 1 catch on 1 target for 7 yards. So clearly he was upset about, he's not in the action at all. Like they're not using it. Another one that said the usage of Le'Veon Bell is inexcusable. Only 1 target in the passing game. He's the most talented player on offense, and they don't get the ball in his hands. It's super frustrating that we are wasting the talent of a player like Le'Veon Bell. So he is liking these tweets. Now you know how Twitter goes, and likes are showing what you really feel. You may not speak it, you may not tweet it yourself, but you liking and retweeting is showing that you agree, or you something about that tweet that you want people to know that it resonates with you. So then from there, I guess Adam Gase was asked about those tweets, about him liking those tweets, and his response was, "It's unfortunate that we've gotten to this point," stuff like that. Like he just kind of, it's
brush it up.
Yeah, unfortunate we're here. Then the story comes out that the Jets are trying to trade for him. And it's like, what? Like, you don't have anybody. Like, why are you trying to get rid of him? I get it, though, because you're not using him. He clearly is not working in your system, or you feel like he's not working in your system because you're not putting him in the system to work. So now you're trying to see what you can get for him, right? But guess what? Apparently no one wants to trade for you. No one wants to trade with you for him. Like, no trade suitors. I guess they wanted a late round pick for him, couldn't get that. So the Jets released him, and that's the shock heard around the world. Okay, everybody was like, "What? Why? What? They did what now?" Your first thoughts when you heard that?
Honestly, I was a little bit surprised considering what they have produced this past season, being 0-5 and not having a lot of, talented, I'm going to say talented, but like superstars. That's the word I use.
Right.
A lot of superstars on the team. Sam Darnold's still figuring out his way. I guess he's still seeing ghosts or whatever, what have you. And I don't know. It's weird that you would go get all hype about Le'Veon and really want him on your team, go through the whole thing with Jamal Adams and, why he's really trying to be down and solid and loyal, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So then you get in there and you kind of see what it's really about. And you're like, okay, this is some BS.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of understand what you was talking about now, Jamal. Like, I get it.
I was getting hyped before I actually put on the pads. And I he needs to apologize. But I do believe that when things aren't working or things aren't going your way, maybe have a conversation. I don't know what the conversations were like. I would love to be more privy to that. Because did you have to air out your transgressions? If it really wasn't working, could we have to move on? But to me, 5 games in, it's like plenty of teams have turned things around within 5 games. And I think there was opportunity there to do that. But I do understand nowadays, everyone is like, if they don't feel it, they're like, bye. So, okay, I guess. I'm not crying over no millionaire losing out on opportunities. He played 18 games, made how much money? So
I was gonna say, like, hold up, because he ain't in a bad situation. He is clearly happy. He's happy about the move because now that's freed him up to go join some other team. We'll talk about the team options there in a minute. But he made $28 million with the Jets in 18 games because he played he had last season and the beginning of this season. $28 million. I'm not complaining either. There's some people that in that league that haven't made that in multiple years of playing. Okay? So he's sitting okay right now. If he had to sit out the rest of this year, I'm pretty sure he would be okay. Like,
he's done it before, so why not another year?
Right. Okay, but obviously, there's a lot of injuries in the league. There's a lot of teams that could use him at this very point in time. There are rumors swirling that he may end up with the Chiefs, which I think is weird because they have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I want to say
you have someone who can give him the break. Yeah, why not?
I get that. So I was having this conversation with a few other friends. Like, where do you think he would go? And the first options they threw out there, which were the ones on my mind, were Chargers or why can't I think about the other team?
I don't know. But he's
Chargers because Giants. Well, Giants have Devontae Freeman, so I don't know if they're going to. I mean, yes, look, yes, but I'm just saying I feel who would need.
I don't think anybody's gonna pick up that contract. That's what I believe. But I do think that there's plenty of options and there are plenty of teams that could use a solid running back.
Well, the Chargers for sure. Well, yeah, the Chargers for sure could use him because Austin Eckler's out. We don't know how long he'll be out for, but either way, Le'Veon comes with like a veteran presence. The idea is that you would think he would want to go somewhere where he's going to be a leader as far as the running back room goes, because I'm not saying a leader as in he wants to lead them. I'm saying he wants to be the number one out. He wants to be running back one. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, baby, you ain't gonna be no number one nowhere. Where is he trying to go?
But you can't. But I'm saying Chargers is one that's open because Austin Eckler's hurt right now. I don't think there's no distinct timetable about his return. So they're relying on like Joshua Kelly, who's a rookie. Like, you get what I'm saying? They have the availability there. There was another team. Why can't I think of the team? I'm tripping right now.
He don't play that, so I feel like that's not happening.
Why can't I think about the team?
I don't know.
I almost want to go back and. We said Chargers and
Chiefs?
No, I don't think it was the Chiefs. Okay, so I figured it out. I would have found out who it was. We said it was Chargers and Panthers because right now they also have Christian McCaffrey out. And
Panthers don't want that. Panthers don't want. They're doing very fine without.
But they're relying on Mike Davis, and like, yes, he's doing fine, but like, it's a difference to have that like you said, that superstar name and someone who could really carry that running back.
But I feel like the Panthers aren't even a superstar team right now. They're really just going to be that hard note. They give me Miami Heat vibes. That's going to be my example for everything. Like, they don't have a bunch of superstars, but they get it done. Teddy Bridgewater is a superstar a little bit.
His name was in that talk for sure. So it's like, out of a respect situation, he's still worth giving that respect.
Okay, fine. But when you build a team around Christian McCaffrey and he goes down, now you don't know from week to week what they're going to provide you because you assumed that it was going to be Christian and then everybody else. Now they have different schemes that they're going to have to come up with. But if you bring another running back, a big name running back, they're going to assume you're try to go back to a Christian McCaffrey type of scheme. And
it's another option. It's another option.
There's an X.
So you are Panthers.
Charlotte's not. David Tepper doesn't like drama. I mean, he literally got rid of Cam Newton over some bullshit. So, like, I just don't believe he wants drama.
So is he drama? Is Le'Veon drama? I mean, currently. I mean, besides I guess he did just like the tweets and call it. Never mind.
I'm a team person. So you giving up on your teammates.
I I just think there's different terms of drama. Like to me, drama is like I'm getting in trouble left and right, and so I'm causing you all this havoc. Like I'm not being available because I'm, dealing with the law or stuff like that. Like I don't consider, and I guess yeah, being a cancer in the locker room could be considered drama, but I don't feel like I've seen. I don't know we don't know all the details with the Jets. That's the problem.
I mean, you lost 5 games and you're like, peace out. So like to me, those guys too come ready for war every single day. So to not try and pour into them, like how can we get better as a group? At the end of the day, you can only do so much with play calling, fine. But
I agree. He gave up quickly. I agree with you. But I think, but then that's where it triggers that it has to be other things, right? It has to be other things going on behind the scenes.
It's a horrible organization, but like that's a whole other story.
So then, are you blaming him then, or he's still supposed to ride with the team and just deal with the horrible organization?
Every organization is not perfect. Like you got Negroes in Cleveland right now, not throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. and freaking Jarvis Landry. That's a whole.
He's getting the ball now. He's starting to become back to Odell. He's getting his name back up there. The last 2 games have been pretty solid for him. So yeah, keep going.
You're working with a mediocre quarterback who, at the end of the day, is not feeding y'all like he could. Period.
Yeah.
Period. So to me, he still shows up to work every day. Jarvis Landry still shows up to work every day. Like he might get frustrated that he didn't get enough touches, but they still show up to work every day.
So you want the non-public displays of upsetness.
I mean, if it didn't work, it didn't work. But at the end of the day, you were so adamant about loyalty and like holding people down and all that stuff, only to then switch 5 games in because it didn't go your way. That's kind of that respect thing just went down like 2 ticks.
Okay, well, at this point, it's interesting to see what the Jets going to do because they still have Adam Gase as head coach, and he's still calling the plays. And they're still 0-5, so I don't know what that's going to look like now without the option of Le'Veon. I don't know if they're going to look to pick up anybody else. I don't know who they could pick up right now, but it shall be interesting.
Would you want to go there? Would you go there? No.
No, but I mean, if I'm looking for a job is a job, okay? So who is your final choice that you think where he's gonna end up at? Le'Veon. If he ends up the Chiefs.
Okay. I mean, Chiefs would be my biggest thing because I think that Andy is a good players coach, and I think he's able to just corral you in. And Patrick Mahomes gives me vibes that he's gonna be listen. We're team first energy. We're just trying to go out there and win.
Who wouldn't want to be a part of them too? Like they have a great situation over there right now, like Super Bowl contenders, even with like the Rocky whatever last game against the Raiders or whatever, like they're still Super Bowl contenders, they're still top of the pack. Like I would love to join it too. Big chance for me to get to the Super Bowl. Sign me up. Okay, sign me up for sure. I know we mentioned we were going to talk fantasy a little bit, but I'm gonna say that for next week because I had a terrible week in fantasy, and I don't want to talk about it. It was ugly, and I'm sick of dealing with this. So you gotta catch me on a better.
Maybe you should stop choosing poorly.
That ain't even the situation. So see, you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even. You don't even know what you're talking about. Situations happen. These weeks have been crazy with the rescheduling of games. There's just a lot of stuff that you have to, you don't see coming your way, including injuries. So get off my back, okay?
Period. Sure. All right. Final thoughts of the day. What you want to leave us with?
I do want to quickly not shout out, but like kind of give a quick, like,
bring to everyone's attention.
Yeah, there you go. Let me quick attention grabber right now. Right now there is a lot going on in Armenia. I don't want to like fully break down the whole situation right now. It's just Armenia is dealing with like almost basically a war with Azerbaijan. For those of you that don't know what is going on, or you just want more information, or you want to know how you can help and like how you can donate, whatever, any way you can help, send letter to Congress, all that. I'm going to direct you to my friend Natalie's page on Instagram and Twitter. She provides a lot of different informative links to help you guys know what's going on and all that good stuff. So yeah, she's sharing that constantly. I share some of it on my Instagram story, but I'm sure she has a link in her bio. Other than that, like her Twitter timeline. So yeah, I'll drop her @name somewhere down here or in the info thing. But other than that, pray for me and my fantasy team this week, y'all, cause teams. I have 3. I'm in 3 leagues, so pray for at least one of them for me, cause I can't go out like this. I don't like this losing stuff. This ain't for me. It's not for me.
You know how to be a calm fan about it. Like if you lose, it's gonna be fine at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm not adding these, like mentioning these players on Twitter and being like, you lost me this game. Like, bro, they're not worried about your fantasy team at all. Like, none. So no, I'm not bothering people about that. I just internally hurt. And in my leagues, I can't talk crap because I'm losing. Like, that ain't cute. So who like a loser? I'm a winner, baby.
Period.
Period. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. But yeah, other than that, thanks for joining us for another episode of The Scoop with Cindy and Coop. And make sure you guys tune in to next. Oh, quickly, before I go, we are now going to put this on podcast platforms because I have been asked multiple times, am I just only putting this on YouTube? And I understand that it may be easier for y'all to listen and not watch. So we are going to provide you with podcast links to where are they going to be on?
Apple, Spotify, all the good stuff. I don't know.
Wherever you go.
There you go.
There you go. Candace don't know yet, but she takes care of that part. So yeah. Until next time.